Our world is constantly shifting and transforming. Companies everywhere are working to lead the way to the next big thing. And consumers expect rapid, exciting product launches and packages that are delivered to their doorsteps like magic. With all of this incredible change, the value of speed has become immeasurable. It's truly one of the most important factors of business success today. After all, the ability to identify an issue or opportunity is great, but real value is achieved when you identify that issue before it becomes a huge problem, or act upon that opportunity ahead of the competition. These days, there's more data about marketplaces, organizations, customers, competitors, and employees than ever before. But we need more than data alone to make better decisions and deliver rapid results. And that's where intelligence comes in. Business intelligence. Business intelligence, or BI, involves automating processes and information channels in order to transform relevant data into actionable insights that are easily available to decision makers. In other words, by showing decision makers what is currently happening, organizations become more intelligent and successful. A national restaurant group might analyze millions of customer receipts to optimize its food supply and reduce waste. Or a local hospital could integrate numerous different data sources to review feedback and outcomes in order to help personalize the patient experience. Or perhaps a global manufacturing company uses supply chain data from around the world to make more precise demand forecasts and ensure appropriate inventory levels. The BI applications are endless, and so are the BI career opportunities. The field involves such diverse organizations and industries that wherever your interest may be, there's a path for you. In this program alone, you'll learn about everything from appliance manufacturers, to grocery stores, to local artisans, to artificial intelligence companies. BI professionals are making impact everywhere. As for me, my name is Sally, and I'm a business intelligence analyst at Google. I'm thrilled to welcome you to the Google Business Intelligence Career Certificate. I'll be your instructor for the first course of this program. Completing a Google Career Certificate, like this one, will help you develop relevant skills that employers are looking for when hiring business intelligence talent. You'll learn how to use the tools of a fast-growing, high-paying field. And when you graduate, you can connect with hundreds of employers in the US who are interested in hiring Google Career Certificate graduates. The program is designed to prepare you for a job in 3 to 6 months if you work on the certificate part-time. And it's really flexible. There are just 3 courses, which you'll complete on your own terms at your own pace, all online. Whether you're seeking to switch careers, find a new job, level up your skills, or build a business, Google Career Certificates can open doors to new opportunities. You might know me from the Google Data Analytics Certificate, which is a key foundation for this program. What you will learn here relies on that foundation, so you want to be sure to earn that certificate first, or use our upcoming self-assessment to ensure you have comparable knowledge. I'll be by your side throughout this first course, making sure that you're learning what you need to succeed. I love the world of BI and really enjoy working with SQL and digging into the technical side of analytics in support of Google's people operations. This team is dedicated to Google staffing, development, and a distinct and inclusive culture. But I didn't start out in BI. When I first thought about my professional path, I was interested in becoming a physician. But I ended up really enjoying the biological sciences, so I thought I'd be a biomedical researcher. Of course, data analytics is the science of data, so it kind of made sense that this field ended up piquing my interest along the way. I started my career as an analyst, and here I am. That's just one example, and everyone's experience is different. In fact, the Google Career Certificates were designed by industry professionals with decades of experience. And you'll have a different expert from Google to guide you through each course. We'll share our knowledge in videos, help you practice with hands-on activities, and take you through scenarios that you might encounter on the job. First, meet my teammate Ed.
Hello, I'm Ed, and I'm a product manager at Google. Together, we'll explore data modeling and ETL, which stands for extract, transform, and load. It's all about getting data where and how you need it, so you can analyze and monitor it. Next, you meet Terrence.
Hey there, I'm Terrence, and I'm a Senior Business Intelligence Analyst. I'm really looking forward to spending time with you as you discover how to apply your understanding of stakeholder needs when creating BI visualizations. We'll also use dashboards to present clear insights that can advance all kinds of companies. And speaking of companies benefiting from BI, you'll get to learn from Christine, who will help you prepare to join one of these organizations and launch your BI career.
Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm an associate lead recruiter here at Google. I'll guide you through different career building topics and activities, including the Portfolio Project. A portfolio is a collection of materials that can be shared with potential employers. This exciting, hands-on experience will bring together everything you learned during this program and enable you to apply your skills to a realistic business scenario.
We're all really glad you're here, and I, for one, can't wait to get started. Are you ready to take the first step towards joining us in the BI profession? Let's go! There are an endless number of reasons to pursue a career in business intelligence. Enjoying analytical thinking or having an interest in numbers are wonderful motivations for becoming a BI professional. But there's so much more to the world of BI. Maybe you're passionate about solving problems, simplifying processes, or removing pain points for others. Perhaps you have great communication skills and you'd like to use them to share insights and help your team make effective decisions. Lots of people in BI enjoy creating tools that streamline tasks and enable their colleagues to devote more time to other projects. BI professionals are inspired in all kinds of ways. But when I talk to my colleagues here at Google, the thing they love most is simply using their talents to make other people happy. There's a lot of satisfaction in knowing that you've made someone's job easier or saved them a bunch of time. And right now, you've made me happy because you're here to explore the exciting and rewarding career path of BI. In this first course, you will begin learning about the BI industry. If this is new territory for you, you'll discover how to identify the career path and employer type that best suits your skills and interests. You'll also consider the roles of BI analysts versus BI engineers. And if you already have some BI experience, we'll open new doors to more fascinating career opportunities. You'll understand how to develop a BI project that makes an impact. You'll be introduced to BI tools and techniques that professionals use every day for making business decisions and improving processes. The similarities and differences between BI and data analytics will be clarified. And together, we will explore the importance of context when working with data and learn how to overcome some common limitations, such as human bias. Then, throughout the program, you'll continue gaining new skills. You will use data modeling to design data storage systems, such as data warehouses, data marts, and data lakes. You'll apply data pipelines in the ETL process. Designing and interpreting dashboards will be an essential part of your learning, as well as communicating with stakeholders about your findings. Finally, you'll prepare for your job search by developing a personal strategy, growing your professional network, and preparing materials. Most of the content in this program builds upon core data analytics concepts. So if you have some experience in that area, or if you earned your Google Data Analytics certificate, then you've definitely come to the right place. If you're unsure about having the necessary prerequisites for this program, there's an ungraded assessment coming up soon to evaluate your readiness. In addition, we'll include helpful resources from the Google Data Analytics certificate throughout each course, which you can use to review key concepts. Each step of the way, you'll be preparing for your portfolio project. As you've learned, a portfolio is a collection of materials that can be shared with potential employers. Having a compelling portfolio can really help you stand out during your job search. So let's start building your BI skills and knowledge. Continue to the next lesson to keep the momentum going. We often hear about all the data that's created each and every day. It could be something as simple as taking a photo with your phone, or paying your bills, or something as complex as a global company launching a new product or running a multimedia advertising campaign. It really feels like practically everything creates data. So it's no wonder that organizations need experts to help them access the right data, use it to find ways to grow and improve, and put those insights into action. In fact, as the volume of data is ever escalating, so is the need for professionals who can make that data shine. For instance, in my role, I'm proud to be able to use data to give my stakeholders a quick overview of exactly what they need to know without getting lost in the details. The tools I create enable them to clearly evaluate the candidate hiring and employee experiences within Google's people operations. One way this works is by showing my stakeholders how long the interview journey is when someone is being hired at Google. This is important because it helps them determine if we need to hire more recruiters or interview schedulers in order to improve the process for our candidates. In this video, you'll learn more about how those of us in BI offer value to our colleagues and how we help shape the future of our organizations. There are so many different potential roles to explore. For example, in this program, you'll learn a lot about BI analysts and BI engineers. BI analysts gather requirements from stakeholders, partners, and team members. They use their understanding of large datasets to retrieve, organize, and interpret data. Then they create visualizations, dashboards, and reports to use when presenting and communicating insights to others. The intelligence they share might be used to make decisions, develop a new process, or create a business strategy. Or it could be applied to even deeper analysis. BI engineers are responsible for designing, configuring, implementing, and improving data tools and processes. They evaluate and streamline various devices, infrastructures, and information channels called pipelines. Engineers are excellent troubleshooters and help find solutions to security issues, application permissions and updates, and other technical challenges. In other words, a BI engineer manages tools and processes, which enables a BI analyst to put those tools and processes to work. However, it's also important to note that some companies don't distinguish between those two BI jobs, using the terms analyst and engineer interchangeably. So, when you begin to explore job opportunities, be sure to spend some time researching the job and organization in order to fully understand what's involved. No matter which path you ultimately choose, a career in BI has the potential to be amazing. Research shows that all industries today need skilled BI professionals, but there are not enough people with the right experience and talent to satisfy this demand. So, BI professionals enjoy strong career prospects. In fact, a quick search for job openings in the industry reveals thousands of opportunities on LinkedIn alone. But perhaps best of all, BI professionals find their work rewarding and fulfilling because we know what we do makes someone else's life better. Coming up and throughout this program, you'll discover some really inspiring examples of just how BI makes such a positive impact. I can't wait to share them with you. What do you do when you're facing a really challenging task or big problem? You've done your research, tried multiple approaches, but nothing seems to be working. It's natural to be frustrated. We've all been there. But a much better strategy is to simply ask for help. As the saying goes, 2 heads are better than 1. And in business, complex problems often require 5, 10, or even hundreds of people coming up with potential solutions. This is why business intelligence professionals collaborate with lots of different team members in their work. Brainstorming and building together, pulling knowledge, and working out issues is essential to the BI process. BI professionals also rely on team members to provide important inputs for their projects and to partner on solutions. This video will share examples of the key players you might work with. Keep in mind, every organization handles job titles differently, so you may encounter some discrepancies or overlap, but this is a great place to start. First up, API professionals. API stands for Application Programming Interface. This is a set of functions and procedures that integrate computer programs, forming a connection that enables them to communicate. There are so many different roles that involve APIs, including API strategist, developer, engineer, and product owner. When you're working in business intelligence, you might collaborate with API professionals in order to create the interface that you need for a particular project, especially if some of your data is coming from a third-party platform. APIs bring that data into the internal company database in order to build reporting tools and dashboards. API professionals code in a number of different computing languages, including Python, Java, and so many others. So it's up to API partners to write code that's specific to each project and business need. You may work with data warehousing specialists who develop processes and procedures to effectively store and organize data. These people also help ensure BI professionals can easily access the data they need. There are also data governance professionals. These team members are responsible for the formal management of an organization's data assets. This may involve managing the availability, integrity, and security of data based on internal standards and policies. This is very important for making sure data is trustworthy and doesn't get misused or corrupted. Of course, data analysts are key partners as they collect, transform, and organize data. They are dataset specialists, reviewing and validating the data all the time. They also identify and implement exciting new analysis methodologies. Another key team is IT. Information technology professionals test, install, repair, upgrade, and maintain the hardware and software solutions that organizations use every single day. BI professionals work with the IT department in order to maximize all of the available data and data tools. In addition, project managers are key collaborators as they handle the day-to-day project steps, scope, schedule, budget, resources, and much more. There are all kinds of contributors, and every organization is different. Who you work with will depend on the size of the company, the available tools, and the nature of the work. For example, if your project deals with the customer experience, then the customer success team will be essential to providing inputs. If your project is about employee engagement, then you'll work closely with the HR team. And because my work involves hiring processes, I really benefit from collaborating with the recruiting team members here at Google. Now, there is another essential group of people on the team, and that's your stakeholders. In an upcoming section in this course, we'll talk lots more about the various stakeholder roles as they relate to BI. We'll also explore different stakeholder goals and how you can use your BI skills to reach them. Stay tuned. With business intelligence and data analytics gaining so much popularity these days, the term business intelligence and data analytics are often defined incorrectly, oversimplified, or used interchangeably for speedy communication. That can lead to confusion because BI and DA are quite different. In this video, we're going to sort that out. First, let's establish that both BI and DA professionals enable data-driven decision-making in their organizations. They're also both a key part of their company's data maturity. Data maturity is the extent to which an organization is able to effectively use its data in order to extract actionable insights. Whether that data includes information about your customers, staff, products, suppliers, finances, or something else, it's worthless if it can't be put to work. Putting data to work requires skilled professionals who can apply techniques and technologies to achieve high levels of maturity. In this effort, data analysts are primarily involved with using data to answer questions about what happened. On the other hand, BI professionals aim to achieve higher levels of data maturity by building data reporting tools, such as dashboards. Dashboards continuously analyze and monitor data, so the work isn't complete just because the tool has been created. The analysis and monitoring are ongoing. This is because BI involves establishing repeatable methods to understand how things are operating. And by knowing the current state, company leaders can take action to improve the future state. For example, a BI professional might investigate what new sales prospects are being targeted today. How many customers have we gained this month? Or did our weekly email perform well with new subscribers? Because BI is all about near real-time rapid monitoring, BI insights are most effective when they make an impact right now. Therefore, the people who use the reporting tools want to make sure they are practical and efficient. BI professionals are expert tool builders. Then, it's typically the data analysts who apply these tools in order to answer a question or solve a problem by examining the data through a specific topic or lens. Again, a big part of BI is creating dashboards that provide users with clear snapshots of the current state. These tools must be impactful and easy to interpret, even for non-technical people. So, if you like thinking about what you can create that meets the needs of many different users, BI will let you do just that. BI professionals generally work on large-scale projects that are helpful for multiple stakeholders. Also, as you consider how you will fit in the BI world, note that BI professionals are experts in data infrastructure and enjoy the technical side of data analytics. For instance, If you love working with databases, big data, and the computer programming language SQL, BI will give you the opportunity to take your queries to the next level. If you earn the Google Data Analytics certificate, the content included there formed your foundational knowledge and experience. Now, this BI program will provide a complementary skill set that builds on those foundations. It will also add a lot of very marketable talents to your resume that will create a compelling combination of skills for employers to consider and will open the doors for more job opportunities. In addition to the technical side of things, such as managing large datasets, writing queries in SQL, and creating dashboards, you'll learn some really worthwhile professional skills. These include the ability to juggle many different priorities, attention to detail, owning a process, communicating with others, and learning how to go beyond surface level requests. Perhaps most importantly, you'll discover the value of connecting with others to really drive results. And that's how you build a career rather than just have a job. These are also great things to keep in mind as you continue planning for your portfolio project. Consider how you can use this upcoming project as an opportunity to demonstrate both your technical skills and your ability to thrive in a complex workplace with a diverse group of colleagues. In future lessons, you will continue to explore the similarities and differences between BI and DA. The two disciplines complement and rely on each other, just like the talented people who work in these roles. Together, they help their organizations advance on the data maturity scale every day. If you earned your Google Data Analytics certificate, then you're very familiar with the data lifecycle and the data analysis process. Data analysts use these phases in their work every single day in order to gain insights that lead to informed decision making. As a quick refresher, the data lifecycle is the sequence of stages that data experiences, which include plan, capture, manage, analyze, archive, and destroy. And the data analysis process occurs in 6 phases: ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, and act. Business intelligence also has phases, a sequence of 3 stages that determines the value of BI, as well as organizational data maturity. As you've learned, data maturity is a meaningful goal for any BI team because high maturity means their organization is effectively using its data in order to extract actionable insights. In BI, the 3 stages are capture, analyze, and monitor. As you advance through each one, the process requires a deeper level of exploration and investigation, so each becomes more complex. These phases might be automated or done manually, but each one adds significant business impact, which is well worth the effort. It's important to understand these stages and how they can benefit you as a BI professional. So we're going to explore each one of them in this video. Let's start with capture, which is the what happened point in the BI process. This stage pertains to static, backward-looking data. For instance, if you were to query a database to return a dataset about what your customers purchased last month, that's an example of capturing information. Or you might access a spreadsheet that lists profits and losses from the previous quarter. That's also an example of capturing a record of certain information. Records are essential to BI, but they don't enable users to easily investigate in depth and really dig into the data. And that hinders the insights they're able to provide. Also, because the data in this stage is rigid and backward-looking, it's not always very useful for proactive, forward-looking decisions. Capturing information is a necessary element of BI. But information alone doesn't let us know what's working well, how we can improve, or what to do next. However, in the following step, things get better. Which brings me to stage 2, analyze. The why did it happen part of BI. You already know a lot about this stage, but as a quick reminder, data analysis is when we draw conclusions, make predictions, and drive informed decision making. Because the analyze stage explores why things happen, it's much more likely to result in effective plans and strategies. In this way, it enables BI professionals to better understand key relationships between data points. They do this by examining data more deeply, more broadly, or even side by side, in order to identify connections that, at first, might not have been apparent. Okay, now we've come to the final part of the process, monitor. Monitor is the what's happening now stage. And here's where BI professionals really get to show off their unique skills and expertise. In this stage, you'll use automated processes and information channels, such as data models, ETL pipelines, dashboards, and more. These exciting tools take the data that organizations create every single day and transform it into true intelligence that is easily available to stakeholders. These BI tools reveal upswings, downturns, changes, challenges, opportunities, and much more. Decision makers then use the insights these tools deliver in order to proactively work towards business goals. You'll learn all about these BI tools in upcoming courses. And soon in this course, I'll provide some foundational information about the BI Professionals Toolbox. You can use it to start familiarizing yourself with what happens during the monitor stage and to think about which tools you might use in your portfolio project. For now, great job on all the progress you've made so far. I'm so happy to be sharing the world of BI with you. Let's keep it up and head to the next lesson. Strategy is a big part of life in so many ways. Take the planet's most popular sport, football or soccer. The rules and gameplay are relatively simple, but the strategy is extremely complex. Depending on who's on the field and their particular skills, the coaches must choose between many different formations and tactics. And no matter how talented a player may be, they'll only perform their best if they have a solid understanding of football strategy, such as being able to identify the precise moment to shoot or when to pass instead. The game of chess is also all about strategy. Each piece has a distinctive way of moving, such as a rook shifting horizontally or vertically across the board, a knight jumping over other pieces, or the powerful queen going pretty much anywhere she wants. Mathematicians have actually proven that there are more potential chess game variations than atoms in the universe. And with so many possible outcomes, having a clear strategy is absolutely essential to creating a winning game plan. Well, creating a winning strategy is also a big part of BI. You may recall learning about data strategy, which is the management of the people, processes, and tools used in data analysis. Similarly, business intelligence strategy is the management of the people, processes, and tools used in the business intelligence process. As you're discovering, BI is complex, and it requires a 360-degree view of the organization. Thoughtful preparation through effective strategy is a must. In this video, we'll explore how that works. Let's start with people. The most important thing here is to make sure people are working together in a positive way. Sometimes several departments in a company are using BI, but the processes are siloed, meaning they lack communication and collaboration. Maybe the sales team doesn't have access to important marketing data, or human resources is tracking valuable employee data, but only for their own internal purposes. So the first thing to do is simply communicate with all of the team members and stakeholders who are involved. Include people from all levels of the organization so you get many diverse perspectives. Begin by asking them some key questions, such as, are our BI teams and professionals coordinated? Is there any overlap among their functions? Who should be responsible for establishing the rules and policies that govern BI processes? Note that BI governance involves defining and implementing BI systems and frameworks within an organization. This is different from the concept of data governance, which you may know is a process for ensuring the formal management of a company's data assets. Now, most importantly in the people step, be sure to ask about the vision for the BI process. And how does that vision align with current business strategy? A vision specifies your desired outcome, such as winning the football game or chess match. The second element of BI strategy is process. By now, you've established who will be responsible for the rules and policies that govern BI processes. So, some questions to ask these people include, what solutions are we using and how? Which of them bring value? What types of solutions do we plan to implement? How will we deliver them? How will we support them? In addition, having a user support framework is a critical part of the process. So be sure to dedicate enough time in training and education, a feedback system, and ensuring users are getting value from the tools. Which brings us to the tools part of BI strategy. One of the most important concepts to note here is to choose each tool with the user in mind. Consider which dashboards, reports, and other solutions will be most effective. Ask, do different users, teams, and departments require different technologies? Which technologies do we have access to? Can we gain access to others if needed? How will we measure success? Here, you'll want to establish key performance indicators, or KPIs, for each particular business need. Soon, you'll learn a lot more about KPIs and explore how organizations use them to achieve objectives every day. But for now, just understand that a KPI is a quantifiable value, closely linked to business strategy, which is used to track progress towards a goal. In other words, KPIs direct you towards achieving your desired results. But in order for KPIs to do their job, it's important that the tools you select align with the KPIs established for each particular project. The last step in this process is documenting everything you've learned. Many BI professionals use specific BI documents to note stakeholder requirements, project requirements, and strategy. These are essential tools that can really help you capture the big picture, stay organized, and make an impact at your organization. You'll learn exactly how to create these documents in an upcoming reading. Then during the portfolio project, you'll make some of your own. As a final point, keep in mind that your particular level of involvement in BI strategy will vary depending on the size and structure of your business and team. But having a broad understanding of all the elements involved is a valuable asset for any BI professional. Business intelligence may seem like a new concept, but it's actually been around for centuries. All throughout history, business leaders from around the world have used BI to set the bar for best practices. In fact, the term business intelligence dates back to 1865, when it appeared in the Encyclopedia of Commercial and Business Anecdotes. The book used the term to recount how a banker, Sir Henry Furness, had great business success by collecting data and quickly acting on information before his competitors could. It described Furness as having created a complete and perfect train of business intelligence. Well, all aboard! Because in this video, we're going to get your BI train moving. And just like any train trip, this one starts with mapping out where you are and where you want to go. In BI, mapping a route requires a data model, which is the first tool in your toolbox. Data models organize data elements and how they relate to one another. They help keep data consistent across systems and explain to users how the data is organized. This gives BI professionals clear directions when navigating a database. All right, the second stop on our train ride, and the second tool in your toolbox, is the data pipeline. A data pipeline is a series of processes that transports data from different sources to their final destination for storage and analysis. Think of the data pipeline as train tracks, spanning, passing, and crossing over vast distances. Data is transported along these channels in a smooth, automated flow from original sources to target destination. But that's not all. Along the way, it's up to BI professionals to transform that data so that by the time it pulls into the station or database, it's ready to be put into use. One example of this is ETL, or extract, transform, and load. As a refresher, ETL is a type of data pipeline that enables data to be gathered from source systems, converted into a useful format, and brought into a data warehouse or other unified destination system. The process of ETL plays a key role in data integration because it enables BI professionals to take data from multiple sources, consolidate it, and get all that data working together. Okay, now we've come to our third tool, data visualizations. You likely know that data visualization is the graphical representation of data. Some popular data viz applications are Tableau and Looker. These apps make it possible to create visuals that are easy to understand and tell a compelling story. This way, people who don't have a lot of experience with data can easily access and interpret the information they need. Think of data visualizations as the photos you share with friends and family after your train trip. The best ones are clear, memorable, and highlight the specific places you went, the important sites you visited, and the interesting experiences you had. BI professionals use data visualizations within dashboards, our final stop on the ride. As you may know, a dashboard is an interactive visualization tool that monitors live incoming data. Picture the dashboards used by train drivers. They pay close attention to these tools in order to constantly observe the status of the train engine and other important equipment. Dashboards keep the drivers connected with the control center to ensure that routes are clear and signals are functioning properly. And the drivers can quickly scan the dashboard to identify any hazards or delays that might affect train speed or schedule. No matter which BI tool you're using, a very important concept in our field is iteration. Just as the railroad workers are constantly evaluating and upgrading trains, tracks, and other systems, BI professionals always want to find new solutions and innovative ways to advance our processes. We do this through iteration. Iteration involves repeating a procedure over and over again in order to keep getting closer to the desired result. It's like a railway engineer repeatedly testing out signaling systems in order to refine and improve them to ensure the safest possible environment for railway travelers. In upcoming courses, you'll learn a lot more about iteration, and you'll go much more in depth with all of these exciting tools. You'll also explore all the ways you can transfer your skills and experience with one tool and apply them to another. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. We've got many more thrilling destinations coming up. You have almost reached the end of this first section of the Google Business Intelligence Certificate. So far, you've been introduced to the exciting world of BI, learned about lots of potential careers, and discovered the valuable contributions that BI professionals make every day. You have also gained some key foundational knowledge about BI strategy, as well as data maturity and how BI processes and tools enable organizations to advance to higher maturity levels. We've covered a lot, and I'm sure you have so much to think about already. But that's a great thing. It means you've gathered data, are considering all you've learned, and are beginning to monitor your own progress. That's what intelligence is all about. As this course continues, you'll keep building on the strong base you've created. Your BI knowledge and skills will continue to expand, and you'll apply everything you've learned to the rest of the program and your final portfolio project. Soon, you'll also discover how to tap into our diverse community of learners, just like you, in order to get the support you need along the way. As I noted earlier, collaborating with others is a really great way to tackle challenges, brainstorm solutions, and pool resources. Just like the team members who partner with BI professionals, the community you can access through discussion forums is an invaluable resource for you as you progress on your BI journey. In the discussion forums, learners explore BI tools and techniques, help each other troubleshoot, offer support, and so much more. They share their career goals and in which field they hope to apply their BI skills. It's a great place to just meet and network with other people who are also interested in BI. I hope you'll take some time to engage with other learners. It will make your experience more fulfilling and fun. Congrats again on all the progress you've made thus far. Awesome job! Welcome to the second section of the Google Business Intelligence Certificate. I'm so glad to have you joining me again. Now that you have a solid foundation in the basics of BI, it's time to focus on the actual BI process. This involves learning how to effectively engage with stakeholders, using BI tools to make the most of available data, and applying the power of rapid monitoring for smart business decisions. And one thing that connects all of these aspects of BI is asking questions. Time and time again, I see that the most successful people in our field are the ones who ask lots of questions. We ask our colleagues what's slowing them down or causing friction in the process. We ask about our customers, competitors, and what's going on in the global marketplace. We ask how things work so we can learn about different tools and technologies. When I was first starting out, I would ask tons of questions about the capabilities and limitations of different systems, even if I didn't use these particular tools in my own day-to-day work. That's because just having a basic understanding enabled me to make connections to the work my team was doing and identify ways that I could make positive contributions. For instance, when I joined Google, I was learning about Google's SQL platforms and the different SQL languages used depending on the tools involved. Sometimes other languages such as Python and JavaScript were involved, which I had never experienced before. To familiarize myself, I made a point to ask questions about how these things worked and who I could go to in order to learn more. I encourage you to do the same thing in your own career and even while you pursue this certificate. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the discussion forums when you encounter a topic that you want to learn more about. There's a lot of information being covered. In this section of the course, we'll first explore how to successfully collaborate with a diverse group of stakeholders. Then you'll discover how near real-time rapid monitoring enables users to collect and report on key metrics, then apply them to make better decisions. In addition, you'll start building some career resources by enhancing your online presence, developing strategies for networking and mentorship, and building a portfolio that will impress future hiring managers. All of that starts by understanding an organization's business needs and important deliverables. After all, if you want to achieve your objectives, you first have to define them. Now, I've got a question for you. Are you ready to get started? Let's go! As you're discovering, BI professionals are passionate about helping people do their jobs more effectively. In my work, I feel a huge sense of accomplishment when I know that I've saved my stakeholders time, helped them find a better process, or showed them a whole new approach. This enables them to focus on other tasks where they can maximize their unique strengths and interests. But before I can do any of that, I first have to get to know them, their roles and responsibilities, and their business goals. After all, different people require different BI insights. But once I have that understanding, I can much more easily determine what a particular project is all about and what my stakeholders are expecting me to deliver. And this is what we're going to explore now in this video. As a quick refresher, a stakeholder is someone who invests time and resources into a project and is interested in its outcome. Typically, this is because they need the work you do to perform their own tasks. But sometimes it's the other way around. You need them. Either way, it's all about teamwork, and that's why it's so critical to ensure that outputs align with the team's requirements. Sometimes a stakeholder might be referred to as a client or user, but their general role is still the same. There are all sorts of stakeholders in the BI process, but we're going to focus on the 4 most common ones. These include the project sponsor, the systems analyst, the developer, and the business stakeholders. Let's start with the project sponsor. This person has overall accountability for a project and establishes the criteria for its success. Accountability involves accounting for, or being responsible for, project activities. Project sponsors are representatives of the business side, which typically means they're involved when a project is being envisioned, and they advocate for its undertaking. And because the project sponsor is responsible for sharing events, changes, and milestones with other stakeholders in a timely and transparent manner, it's important for BI professionals to always keep the project sponsor informed. Here's an example. In a previous team, I worked on an initiative that involved the customer service department changing its operational platform. The project sponsor was the director of cloud systems. She was responsible for the vision for the project, gathering the relevant teams together, and establishing key objectives. As the BI professional, I made sure to provide her with the information she needed to support this effort, such as what inputs I would need and how long it would take me to create a dashboard. The developer is the next stakeholder on our list. Developers use programming languages to create, execute, test, and troubleshoot software applications. You may hear them called computer programmers, coders, or software engineers. There are 2 primary types of developers: application software developers and systems software developers. Apps developers design computer or mobile applications. Because their work is largely focused on creating for consumers, these professionals are focused on user needs, monitoring performance and modifying programs as needed. System software developers are more likely to be stakeholders on a BI project because they develop applications and programs for the back-end processing systems used in organizations. Going back to my example of the customer service project, the system software developer worked on the platform's back-end settings to ensure that data flowed into data tables, which analysts used to determine how happy customers were with the customer service department. Next up is the systems analyst. This person identifies ways to design, implement, and advance information systems in order to ensure that they help make it possible to achieve business goals. Systems analysts study how an organization uses its computer, hardware, and software, cloud services, and related technologies. Then they use what they learn to iterate on and improve these tools. For instance, during the customer service project, the systems analysts work with the raw data provided by the systems software developer. Then they organized it into data that I, as a BI professional, could use for reporting purposes. Now we've come to business stakeholders. If you're familiar with the Google Data Analytics Certificate, then you've learned a lot about these people. Business stakeholders invest time and resources into a project and are interested in its outcome. Feel free to revisit that content if you'd like to review business stakeholders before moving on. All of the people you learn about in this video are different, so they'll all require different things from the BI process. The key is to always communicate proactively and prioritize teamwork. My project was a success because we were all in it together. Recently, we've been exploring key elements of the business intelligence process. We spent some time getting to know typical BI stakeholders, including the project sponsor, systems analyst, developer, and general business stakeholders. Now, we're going to take that a step further and consider some important communication strategies that BI professionals use when collaborating with these people. These strategies involve knowing how to ask the right questions, define project deliverables, and effectively share the business intelligence you discover. No BI project is 100% clear from the very beginning, so you'll often need to put on your detective's hat. A critical part of being a BI professional is knowing how to investigate what's currently going on, then looking for clues to better understand people's needs and ideal project outcomes. My colleagues and I often note that a stakeholder, partner, or coworker might say they need one thing, but what they actually need is very different. And it's up to us to get to the bottom of it and help them succeed. In such circumstances, having strong communication skills will enable you to dig deeper into the problem, challenge, or opportunity, then identify how you can approach the issue in the most effective way. This process starts with asking the right questions. If you earned the Google Data Analytics Certificate, you spent an entire course focusing on this ask phase of the data analysis process. As a quick refresher, this involves understanding the difference between effective and ineffective questions. Knowing what types of questions bring about the best insights enables you to use questioning to fully understand stakeholder expectations, especially when what they're asking for is different from what your professional experience indicates they require. If you're comfortable with the ask phase, continue to the next part of this lesson. Or if you'd like to review these principles, feel free to do so now. Okay. After asking the right questions in order to thoroughly understand the project, it's time to define project deliverables. A deliverable is any product, service, or outcome that must be achieved in order to complete a project. This could be a new BI dashboard, a report, a completed analysis, documentation of a process or decision. Pretty much anything requested by stakeholders can be a deliverable. In BI, the most common deliverables are the dashboards and reports that provide insights to users. When brainstorming which deliverables to produce, it's helpful to make a list of the problems to solve, challenges to overcome, or opportunities to maximize. Then think about the workflow for each business process involved. This helps you visualize the types of dashboards or reports that will be most productive, how many are necessary, and what specific elements each of them requires. For example, when I'm asked to create a dashboard, I'll grab a piece of paper and start drawing example charts in a mockup. Then I share them with the users. This helps in two ways. First, it ensures my vision of the dashboard is what they had in mind. And second, it enables me to confirm for myself that it all makes sense. Okay, now the final step, effectively sharing business intelligence. It's important to know how to make complicated technical data more straightforward and accessible for people who are unfamiliar with the terminology and systems involved. Being able to present intelligence in a clear and concise manner is fundamental to making sure that decision makers understand the insights and can put your recommendations into practice. Also, at this point in the process, an essential responsibility of every BI professional is to consider bias. As you likely know, bias is a conscious or subconscious preference in favor or against a person, group of people, or thing. There are many different types of bias that can affect a data-related project, such as confirmation bias, data bias, interpretation bias, and observer bias. These concepts were taught in depth in the Google Data Analytics certificate, so please review them now if you need to. Every project you work on must start with a focus on fairness, which means that your work doesn't create or reinforce bias. BI professionals have a lot of power because we're the ones translating very technical topics into a simple language for others. It's vital that your translation is fair. After all, your team is trusting you. You'll continue building your communication skills all throughout this program. And in no time, you'll be ready to thoughtfully share even the most complex BI insights. Have you ever been shopping online and added something to your cart, but then ultimately decided not to purchase it? I know I have. I absolutely love cooking, and I like to shop online for cookbooks, interesting spices, or maybe even a new kitchen gadget. But sometimes I change my mind before checking out because I choose to save the money instead. Or I decide that the kitchen tools I already have will work just fine for my recipe. When that happens, the online store has what's called an abandoned cart. And according to e-commerce platform Shopify, online merchants lose $18 billion a year in sales revenue because of cart abandonment. This is a big problem, but it's one that business intelligence professionals are very skilled at solving. In this video, we'll consider exactly how that works. BI professionals can use data to identify where a customer came from, whether a Google search, an email link, or maybe a social media post. Then they can visualize the journey the shopper took when visiting the website. They're even able to pinpoint exactly where that customer dropped off and try to figure out why. For example, a BI professional might create a tool to monitor how quickly the website checkout page is loading. If the team decides that it's taking too long, the company can dedicate resources to improve website speed and hopefully keep that customer in the future. The measure of a website page loading speed is an example of a metric. A metric is a single quantifiable data point that is used to evaluate performance. In BI, some of the most important metrics are KPIs, which you've learned are quantifiable values closely linked to business strategy that tracks progress towards a goal. Many people confuse KPIs and metrics, but they are different things. The basic point to keep in mind is that metrics support KPIs, and in turn, KPIs support overall business objectives. It's also helpful to understand that KPIs are strategic, whereas metrics are tactical. Going back to our abandoned cart example, strong KPIs might be the average value of each online transaction, customer retention, or year-over-year sales. Think of it this way. A strategy is a plan for achieving a goal or arriving at a desired future state. It involves making and carrying out plans to reach what you're trying to accomplish. A tactic is how you get there. It's a method used to enable an accomplishment, including actions, events, and activities. Tactics take place along the way as part of your strategy to reach your final objective, like stepping stones between each milestone. Reach enough milestones and you'll reach your goal. Understanding business objectives and what is needed in order to achieve them is the first step in BI monitoring. BI monitoring involves building and using hardware and software tools to easily and rapidly analyze data and enable stakeholders to make impactful business decisions. So, let's say our e-commerce merchant sets a goal to decrease cart abandonment by 15% in 6 months. The BI professional would create a tool that monitors web page loading speeds in order to help achieve that KPI. Rapid monitoring means that the people using BI tools are receiving live or close to live data. In this way, key decision makers know right away if there's a steep rise in the number of abandoned carts, or if they run out of inventory on a popular product, or if customer service representatives are receiving an unusually high volume of calls. Knowing right away means that the company can fix whatever the problem may be as quickly as possible. And this is one of the main ways in which BI professionals add real value to their organizations. Later in this course, you'll learn more about how to select appropriate metrics. But first, you're going to work with Christine on preparing yourself for a successful entry into the BI field. Lots more to come. Well, we've come to the end of another section. I hope you enjoyed your time with Christine and you've broadened your understanding of some key career strategies. You learn about enhancing your online presence and maximizing networking and mentorship opportunities. Soon, you'll take that even further with the portfolio project. You also investigated the various BI stakeholders and some proven methods for collaborating with them effectively. You discovered how rapid monitoring enables users to collect and report on key metrics, then apply them so organizations can make better decisions. In addition, you learn about how metrics support KPIs, which in turn support business objectives. And we emphasize the power that comes with a BI career and why it's so important to keep fairness in mind at all times. Your business intelligence knowledge and skills continue to develop and grow. I'm really happy to be with you on this exciting journey. Coming up, you have another graded assessment ahead. To prepare, be sure to check out the reading that lists all of the new glossary terms you've learned. And as always, take any time you need to review videos, readings, and your own notes to refresh yourself on all the content. Congrats on all of your progress. We'll connect again shortly. Hello! You're about to embark on another section of the Google Business Intelligence Certificate. This is wonderful. You're really seizing the day. Seize the day, or carpe diem, is a famous Latin phrase by the Roman poet Horace. He used it to express the idea that we should enjoy life while we can, maybe even taking some risks in order to live life to the fullest. More recently, the acronym YOLO, or You Only Live Once, is a common way of expressing the same idea. Interestingly, the original phrase, you only live once, was intended to send a completely different message. The earliest instances of such quotes in English literature were actually more of a warning. Their connotation was that life is precious, so we should use good judgment, be careful, and protect ourselves from risk of harm. This is a great example of a well-known concept being taken out of context. But lots of other things can get taken out of context too, including data. As a refresher, context is the condition in which something exists or happens. If you earned your Google Data Analytics certificate, you learned a lot about context and how it helps turn raw data into meaningful information. If you'd like to review those lessons, please go ahead and do so before moving on to the next video. It's very important for BI professionals to contextualize our data. This gives it an important perspective and reduces the chances of it being biased or unfair. During the next few lessons, we will re-examine context from a BI context. Then we'll move on to some other data limitations, including constant change and being able to see the big picture in a timely manner. I'll also share some strategies BI professionals use to anticipate and overcome these limitations. And we'll learn more about metrics and how they relate to context. There's much to come, so let's seize the day and continue our business intelligence adventure. Let's try a little experiment. Think about what might happen if you showed this line chart to 3 different people. You'd very likely get 3 different interpretations. Even if they understood that line charts are used to show change over time, one person might assume the x-axis represents a few days, while another might guess it's showing a span of many years. Maybe one person would assume the 5 colored lines along the y-axis represent the sales of different products. Another may suppose they represent the purchase patterns of different customer types. The point is, a line chart with the title, a legend for the x-axis, and the y-axis, and each of the data values it contains, is a much more effective data visualization. When you clearly indicate the meaning of each item by giving them context, suddenly this line chart can be easily understood by others. Context helps eliminate the risk of misinterpretation. This saves your stakeholders time and ensures they have accurate information to make data-driven business decisions. As you likely know, in data analytics, context turns raw data into meaningful information. When you contextualize, you put something into perspective. This involves considering its origin and other relevant background information, the motivation behind it, the larger setting in which it exists, such as a particular time period, and what it might have an impact on. Contextualization gives something greater meaning to help people understand it more completely. This also supports fairness and reduces the chance of bias when your users seek to gain useful insights from the data you're presenting, which brings me to context in a BI setting. In BI, there's another aspect of context that professionals care about a lot, and that's contextualizing the tools we create for our users. One key practice that promotes context is to put the data being shared in a central location. Typically, this would be a well-designed dashboard. Then, the second step is ensuring there's a common method for everyone to interact with that dashboard. It's important for stakeholders to be able to easily understand, access, and use the dashboards you create. This way, people don't have to go elsewhere or switch context in order to find the information they need. And that empowers all users to be much more effective in their work. For example, let's say a company's finance team needs a dashboard to analyze costs across the entire company. So you design a dashboard that shares key insights about each department's particular spending. But then, what if it turns out that the operation department's costs are revealed to be unusually high? The finance team would want to be able to take a deep dive into that department's spending in order to figure out the root causes of the cost increase. So it would be important to iterate on your dashboard so it includes supporting information about each department as well. Another part of building an effective solution is prioritizing the cross-functional relationships that exist within your organization. It's necessary to consider how the BI work you're doing aligns with overall business objectives and how it will be used by your colleagues. For instance, if your new BI tool will monitor 5 different metrics and be used by 10 different stakeholders, it's important to consider how each user will access and interpret the data. Basically, to make an effective dashboard, it's necessary to first understand how each particular stakeholder will actually use it. And by taking the time to think this through, you ensure that you create one robust dashboard rather than many less effective ones. Also, because you've created a single accessible shared dashboard, this allows for some great collaboration among users. For instance, that finance team member may be dismayed by a seemingly small 5% year-over-year growth number. But the salesperson can put that number into context by pointing out that 5% is actually a good result and higher than expected, given that the market segment as a whole was experiencing a 10% decline. The salesperson can provide that specific market's context, whereas the financial analyst would likely only be aware of broad industry trends. A single dashboard output can bring about countless insightful conversations. Expressing results contextually helps you confirm that you're using the right data for the stakeholders. You'll also know that it's in the correct format. It can be effectively used and shared, and the results make sense. This boosts people understanding, and as a result, the ultimate business benefits. In a previous lesson, you were introduced to some of the solutions in the Business Intelligence Professionals Toolbox. They include data models, pipelines such as ETL, data visualizations, and dashboards. These are all powerful and exciting solutions, but only if they have relevant, timely, consistent, and bias-free data to work with. This concept is known as data availability. Data availability describes the degree or extent to which timely and relevant information is readily accessible and able to be put to use. Unfortunately, there are various factors that can affect data availability, and therefore can compromise the integrity of BI solutions. In this video, we're going to discuss some of those challenges, as well as ways to address them. First, some of the most common data availability issues involve integrity. If you earned your Google Data Analytics certificate, you know that data integrity involves the accuracy, completeness, consistency, and trustworthiness of data throughout its entire lifecycle. Typical issues related to data integrity include duplicates, missing information, inconsistent structure, or not conforming to business rules. If you'd like to revisit the lesson about data integrity, feel free to do that now. Then come back to this video when you're ready. The second data availability challenge has to do with visibility. Data visibility is the degree or extent to which information can be identified, monitored, and integrated from disparate internal and external sources. For instance, employees working in a company's operations department might have no idea what data is stored in the communications department. Or someone working in the logistics unit might have data files that contain lots of great information, but no one else even knows they exist. Now, on the other hand, when you do have clear data visibility, it's possible to achieve accurate and timely insights and really improve your organization's responsiveness and agility. To achieve these goals, BI professionals will often work with their colleagues to create a list of data repositories for stakeholders. You can request a short interview with the data owners or ask people to complete a quick online survey about the data they collect and use. This is a simple but very useful exercise to discover the kind of data that is available. Also, keep in mind, data visibility challenges don't just exist within a company's four walls. Sometimes BI professionals are unaware of very useful external data. As you may know, there are countless free public data sets, including government research, climate, energy, and healthcare studies, industry surveys, and lots more. All of these can contribute to a successful BI project. The third data availability factor to be aware of is update frequency. Oftentimes, BI projects will involve multiple data sources. It's very common for disparate sources to refresh at different times, such as weekly versus monthly. Let's say a business intelligence professional works for a pet supply manufacturer based in Brazil, and maybe they analyze product sales volume by city. If a retail partner moves from Rio de Janeiro to Sao Paulo in the middle of July, all of that month's sales would fall under Rio, simply because the partner's address hasn't been updated yet in the BI system. So either the retailer's data needs to refresh sooner to match sales data, or the manufacturer should look at all data on a monthly basis. This is why it's important for the BI professional to understand how the update frequency of different data sources can affect insights. Even if individual data sources are perfect, the integration aspect is often pretty messy. Now we've come to a fourth data availability challenge, change. Change is a constant in pretty much every aspect of our lives, and data is no different. Data availability may be affected because of a change to internal procedures, such as a system update or a new record-keeping process. It may change externally because of a user interface upgrade or an adjustment to a particular algorithm. To address this issue, BI professionals must have a plan for how they will keep stakeholders up to date on changes that might affect the project. So they should encourage team members to think about what tools or methods they're using now, what could change, and how it may influence the data being tracked, and how to fill any potential gaps. Data availability is an important consideration in the field of BI, and you're likely to spend a fair amount of time working to address data availability factors. This video provided an introduction to some of the most common issues you'll encounter, but there are other things that can affect the availability of data. Therefore, it's important to be realistic about the level of quality you're aiming for. For many projects, good enough is sufficient. Just be sure to acknowledge the limitations and constraints if you take that approach. As with so many things, it's difficult, if not impossible, to achieve perfection, and that's okay. Vanity is an interesting word. If you look up vanity in the dictionary, you'll discover that it can mean both excessive pride and something that is empty, futile, or without value. It's intriguing to think that we can be proud of something that matters very little, but this does happen sometimes, especially when it comes to business metrics. In fact, those of us in business intelligence have a term for this phenomenon, vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are data points that are intended to impress others, but are not indicative of actual performance and therefore cannot reveal any meaningful business insights. A well-known vanity metric is the number of people following a company on social media. Maybe there are hundreds of thousands of followers, but how many of them are actually making a purchase? How many of them refer other customers to the site? And how much revenue do they actually generate for the business? Showing off a number just because it's big rarely accomplishes much. And that's why it's critical to ensure each metric you monitor is productive, informative, and effective. For example, some useful business metrics might include a restaurant's customer loyalty rate, a manufacturing team's productivity levels, a fitness center's monthly profits and losses, or the amount of inventory in a pharmacy's warehouse. These are numbers that can lead to useful business insights. When determining which metrics to include on a dashboard, BI professionals consider 4 key things. First, more information is not necessarily better. Your stakeholders will appreciate it if you limit the number of metrics on your dashboards by including only those that are critical to project success. Do this by thinking about user requirements, what users already know, and what they need to learn to help them meet those requirements. Too many metrics, especially irrelevant or unnecessary metrics, can confuse people and devalue your dashboard. Next, make sure metrics are aligned with business objectives. Consider your organization's specific goals, then pinpoint which metrics can be used to support them and measure success. Confirm that the necessary technologies and processes are in place to obtain and analyze the data you need for each metric. This is another time to think about all the factors related to data availability. Avoid vague or super high-level metrics. Instead, they should be clear and precise enough to inform a particular action. The SMART methodology can help you identify the key metrics for the particular issue at hand. As you may know, this tool helps determine a question's effectiveness. However, it can also help you refine metrics based on whether they are specific, measurable, action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound. If you earn the Google Data Analytics certificate, you learn about the SMART methodology. Feel free to review that lesson before moving ahead. As a final point, it's wise to identify the most important metric first and prominently display it at the top of your dashboard. Then, supporting metrics can drill down into the details below. For instance, when making a dashboard for a tomato farm, you might put the number of tomato pallets shipped at the top because total sales is a key metric. Then, the data that supports pallet shipments, such as worker productivity and the efficiency of the harvesting machines, would be displayed underneath. In addition, your users will appreciate it if you group related metrics together. So for our tomato farmer, that would mean placing sales data in one section, production insights in another, harvest rates in another, and so on. Keep in mind that the best metrics highlight 2 key things: how the organization is doing and what decision makers should focus on. In other words, they ensure your dashboards are never created in vain. And just like that, we've reached the end of another section of this course. You are discovering so much about business intelligence. I'm really excited for you, for how far you've come, and for everything that lies ahead. I hope you're equally inspired and motivated to keep making great progress. At this point, you've gained valuable knowledge about some of the most essential elements of BI. You learned about context and how it can help people avoid mistakes, save time and effort, and confirm that data is accurate and fair. Context is also important when creating BI tools, as it enables users to collaborate and share information that helps make business metrics more clear and comprehensive. You also explore the concept of data availability and why it's so important in maintaining the integrity of BI solutions. And you continue to investigate metrics, as well as the strategies that BI professionals use when deciding which metrics to include on a dashboard. Soon, it will be time to apply your BI skills to a scenario-based project for your portfolio. You will create your own approach to the example situation and consider how you would complete each task at your company. This will be an invaluable tool during your job search. As always, I encourage you to make the most of the discussion forums. Sharing ideas and questions is a wonderful way to tap into the world of BI. But first, you have another graded assessment. Once again, be sure to check out the reading that lists new glossary terms, and take all the time you need to review videos, readings, and your own notes. Awesome work, and I can't wait to be with you again soon. Congratulations on finishing this first course of the Google Business Intelligence Certificate. You've already learned so much, and now you're ready to take your knowledge and skills and keep moving forward. But remember, if one day you feel like you need a refresher or just some extra practice, these videos, readings, and activities will still be here whenever you need them. Now, I'm excited for you to begin working with the instructor for the next course. You might remember Ed from the video that introduced this program. He's a product manager here at Google. Ed is ready to help you take your next step towards finishing this program and becoming a business intelligence professional. This course builds directly on all of the exciting topics you've learned thus far. It will give you lots more insights into data models, pipelines, data transformation, and much more. As you progress, you'll continue building your BI expertise. And by the end of the course, you'll be prepared to take the next step with your portfolio project. Before you get started, though, I'd like to thank you for joining me in this course and choosing to pursue this exciting learning opportunity. I strongly believe that education is a lifelong journey. For me, it has taken the form of learning Python on the job to speed up my analysis, and reading books about well-being to become a healthier and more resilient person. And in the same way, I have no doubt that all of your time and effort here will better equip you for anything you choose to do in the future. You've come a long way, so take a moment to celebrate everything you've accomplished. Then head over to the next course. Ed is ready and waiting to get you started. Goodbye!